The first Sunday of the NFL season is here, and the excitement continues with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings has given all new customers a can't-miss offer to celebrate the return of the NFL season. Bet just $1 on any football game this weekend and receive $200 in free bets instantly, no matter what. That's right, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new customers $200 in free bets instantly when they bet at least $1 on any football game. DraftKings is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any Week 1 game. That's promo code THPN to get your free $200 in free bets instantly. This week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older in New Jersey, Indiana, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Look at that. And we're back in the box. We got our boys, Aaron and Radham from What Makes Sense, episode 132 on the Hockey Podcast Network. Boys, what is going on? Thank you for joining me on this Labor Day.
Hell yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. How's the weather? Are you guys still getting washed out in New York?
Nah, actually, today was a pretty beautiful day. It's like a nice fall day, so I was excited by it.
Dude, yeah. We live about, funny enough, as close as, like, we consider it our area, but, like, we live, like, 45 minutes away from each other. So, like, the weather could be at any point, like, different. But funny enough, while we're on the weather, quick tangent. I was sitting in fucking pouring rain yesterday. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure if we could swear on this, but
have at it.
All right. I was sitting in just pissing rain yesterday. Soaked for like 3 hours because I
good old Hartford.
Go see Dead & Co. in Hartford, and I was like, this is miserable. So thank God we got a really nice day for Labor Day. I had the day off, so yeah, just chilling, man. Having a great day. How's it on Long Island?
So not on Long Island anymore. I'm actually in Charlotte, North Carolina. So it's still hot as heck, and I'm waiting for it to cool down a little bit. It might be a couple of months until that happens.
Yeah.
So I know that you guys say your home base is Poughkeepsie, but you guys are kind of spread out between that's like the Hudson Valley region, right? That's what you guys consider it?
Yeah, we're all collectively actually surprisingly in the same county, but it's like we're all in Dutchess County, which is where Poughkeepsie is. I think probably the closest to where we actually are in Poughkeepsie is Eddie, who lives in like Hyde Park. And then Aaron and Avery are pretty close to each other in Rhinebeck, Red Hook. And then I live in a small town called Amenia, which nobody ever knows exists. It sounds like a blood disease. It feels like a blood disease. The closest town that I say that people know is Dover. So Dover is where like this like Onion Town trailer park is. So that's how people like figure out where I'm at. They're like, "Do you know about that place? People get in trouble up there." And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't go there, so I don't know that much about that place."
Touche. Yeah. So being from Long Island, Poughkeepsie's not too far. Obviously, a lot of my friends went to Marist, and I also had some friends that went to the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America.
Yeah.
So kind of familiar with the area, but really why I'm familiar with the area is because of your historic venue that you guys have. And you guys are laughing, but the Chance is a known venue that a lot of national tours stop at. And I made the trek up there from Long Island to go to see. It was the Receiving and the Sirens, Gatsby's American Dream, and the Rocket Summer. But the Rocket Summer didn't play that show. Bryce got sick the night before or something like that and didn't play. But it's a beautiful venue. Like, obviously it's not a beautiful venue because no venue that we go to is beautiful. Yeah. But it reminded me of my local venue on Long Island, which was the Downtown, which RIP doesn't exist anymore. And, unfortunately, that's kind of the trend that a lot of these independent venues don't last as long. They get bought out and they become some corporate chain restaurant or something. But it's good to hear that the chance is still kicking and survived COVID and the pandemic.
It's definitely something that I think all of us in the area could say that we take for granted, that we have the chance and like its legendary roots. I mean, you can go look up on Fallon when he's talking to Sting. Like Sting's talking about playing the chance in the snowstorm for 3 people. You know, like he's saying how like awesome it was for the first time coming over to play this little venue in Poughkeepsie, New York. And like you said, you know, a lot of these venues don't last anymore. And unfortunately, Frank, who owned the Chance, he passed away a couple weeks ago. And, you know, we want to support it. We want it to stick around. And he was doing a great job at keeping this legendary venue going. And, you know, we're hoping it sticks around now that he's unfortunately passed.
Yeah, and like for the area, we don't have any really other true music venues. They're all bars. It's, you know, that's all it is. And
we're not a cover band, so they don't like us.
And I guess that's also the price you have to pay, you know, these days is like you have to have a functioning business and, you know, something that drives revenue. So a bar is going to always drive revenue. It's just, you know, is live music going to for you? So it seems that it's always kind of secondary in the area. And not to say we don't have a music scene around here, but it's tough to put things together when you only have really one sort of hub venue. But I have to say, you know, whatever you hear about the Chance too, like, you know, some people hate it, some people like it. It's a music venue at the end of the day. That's what it is. But they were always kind to my bands in high school. They gave us chances that no other, you know, venue would if we'd say we were in a bigger city in like Albany or, you know, in even like New York City or Long Island. I don't know if we would have gotten those chances because at the time we didn't have any social media. We didn't have anything recorded. We were just playing live shows as like kids in high school. We didn't have any money to do that shit. So they would always, you know, be interested in booking us there. They have the Loft is another venue. It's their second venue above it, which has a lot of your more DIY bands, and then they have the actual Chance. So very cool spot, and, you know, made a lot of memories there as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Now, I guess, you know, with having that central hub venue, you know, that we just discussed, you know, bands start to establish their sound and establish themselves. And I know that, you know, We Are the In Crowd is kind of like Newburgh, but that's very close to Poughkeepsie. And then
they did a lot at the Chance in the Loft. I know, like, I think Against the Current, which is Mike from We Are the In Crowd, I think his brother is the drummer. I know, like, they'll rent out like the Loft for rehearsals before tour.
Yeah, so you know, I guess you would expect to hear of more bands from Poughkeepsie since that, you know, that they do have a well-established venue. But other than like We Are the In Crowd and I guess like Goot. Do you guys even know who Goot is?
Alex Goot. I do remember Goot. Yeah, he got huge off of YouTube.
Yeah, and like other than those bands, I can't really think of Poughkeepsie.
Oh, I got you.
Like, I got you. Coheed's not too far, right? Coheed.
They're like Nyack.
Kind of between.
Oh shit!
Poughkeepsie area. So like we call it like Poughkeepsie area because like the way it is up here, like you either live in Poughkeepsie or you live around Poughkeepsie, but you're always like everyone's in Poughkeepsie. Like like that's the hub. Like, you know, it's not there. A lot of the towns around it, they don't have like a city, so everyone goes to Poughkeepsie, and so that area brought us great bands like Autopilot Off out of Newburgh, Matchbook Romance.
Oh,
they were from.
I forgot about Matchbook Romance.
Just Surrender grew up. They all lived about 5 minutes from my house. Just Surrender. And then Aaron, I heard him say it, With the Punches. They were all local Poughkeepsie boys. And there's another one I'm missing. Oh shit! It'll come to me.
Man, but you just name dropped some.
Well, like you said, like Goot especially, like he was around here.
Yeah, I feel like it's might have been a little while. Like Just Surrender hasn't been around for a long time. Autopilot Off hasn't been around since early 2000s. So
yeah, definitely had its heyday, like, you know, early 2010s. So
no high school kids are starting bands anymore. It's part of the problem.
Yeah, it's weird. So, you know, hoping that, you know, we're not taking it like as our sole, like, you know, mission statement, but, you know, we do want to grow the scene around here. We want to get bands that want to come here and play because eventually it's a great spot if you're traveling between Long Island and Albany, or New York City and Albany, or even like if you're going tri-state from like, anywhere in Pennsylvania to Connecticut, or anywhere in the New England. So it just needs to be, I think, a little bit better advertised, and there need to be just better shows put together that people want to be on. So that's what
we
we're
have
trying to
too.
do.
Like I've been around the Poughkeepsie scene now for a long time. Like we do have like a good up and coming scene. We have bands. Obviously we're here. Like we're trying as hard as we can. But there's bands like Cold Hands, Lockjaw, Sound of Smirk, Alliteration, New Vision. Like there's a lot of like good local bands that are doing it and getting together. But it's hard to get a scene going or I shouldn't say going, like steady and current, and like get other bands that kind of come through when you have to try and beg them into the area, which kind of sucks anymore. Because like you said, like what has Poughkeepsie brought in the last 10 years,
Not hating on them.
I'm just being I love Poughkeepsie, and I'll always say we're no shame in that, but I'm just saying, like you said, like the last real band was like With the Punches, and they haven't really been, like, they've done some reunions, but they haven't really been a factor around for the last 10 years.
So if any bands are listening, come to Poughkeepsie.
Let's do it.
Play a show with you. We have connections more than you know. So
yeah, so let's get into
I'll give you a beer and a whiskey.
Yeah.
We've talked about the city of Poughkeepsie for about 10 minutes, but actually,
Good God, that's too much time.
Too much time on Poughkeepsie.
I got robbed in that city.
But let's talk about what makes sense and coming up in that area. So you guys have been kicking it since what, 2018, 2019?
2019 was when we came out. But like Avery and I, it started, it was just me and Avery, a guitar player. We started working on that first EP between like 2017 and 2018. And then we came out in 2019, hooked up with Eddie and Aaron, and our sound and our library has been growing ever since.
Okay, so I guess take me through that when you guys were forming, your sound and, what we know as what makes sense now in 2019.
When Avery and I started, we just broke up another band we were in the area called One for the Braves. And we were just we didn't want to stop. We want to keep going. So we kind of took like some ideas we had from that. And we're like, hey, let's like rework them, like do this. And so we had a few friends, our friend Georgie Koob and our good friend Carl Killer. They came and helped us out. And we put together Fear and Loathing the Northeast, our first EP we put out. And then from there, we put out the first single, Spooky. And we really liked the sound of Spooky. Like off that EP, like it's definitely the standout track. It's definitely our favorite track. So we kind of like were pushing like that sound, and like we were thinking more of where to go. And then we brought in Eddie, and then we found Aaron, and they also brought in their ideas. And we came out with Groundhog Day, Cary Grant, and then obviously now Rear Window. And you can definitely hear that we're playing super well as a unit. We're all bringing everything together, and we're definitely defining a sound that I think we're all really proud of. And Rear Window is the first look really into that.
Yeah, and I think to add to that point, it's constantly adapting. It's not like we're kind of off brand or anything. I think we've now kind of figured out what our sort of musical brand wants to be, but finding new ways to interpret that and speak to it musically, I think is what we've been working on recently, especially like with the whole setback with the pandemic. Now we're able to actually kind of meet in a larger practice space and, social distance and all that stuff. And it hadn't affected us all pretty much last year. So that was, we were very grateful for it. But, once we got back, I think we were sort of firing on all cylinders. And then that was what gave us the chance to kind of, begin recording what was our most recent studio session. And it sounds a lot different, and you'll hear that in Rear Window too. It sounds a lot different, I think, than some of the other stuff we've previously put out.
So you mentioned those three singles, Rear Window, Cary Grant, and Groundhog Day. Did you guys record them all at once, like over the pandemic, or are those three different studio sessions?
So Groundhog Day and Cary Grant were done at the same time in 2020. Literally the week the pandemic started. Like we were in Rhode Island with our producer Chris, And like we were trying to figure out if we were gonna get stuck there or be able to come on back. We were able to come back, so we were good. But
we felt like fugitives. We were like,
Yeah,
they were like, they might shut down the borders of New York State, and we're like,
we felt like real
what
rebels.
What are we gonna do?
Punk rock, right? And so we did those two, and then we went back January of 2021, and we did Rear Window, along with maybe some other ditties.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
So yes.
I mean,
you didn't hear shit.
What's that?
So I guess I'm not familiar. Who in Rhode Island?
Chris Paquette is he's who we use. He used to be in that band Trophy Wise, which is now Makeout.
Yeah.
We linked up with him. Avery and mine's old band, One for the Braves, played with Trophy Wise a few times. We met Chris that way. And then a mutual friend of ours, Julian LaFace, from a band at the time, Light It Up. He's like, you guys need to go to Chris. He's going to like reinvigorate you guys, like really help you guys figure it out. So we were still in One for the Braves at the time. We're like, yeah, all right, we'll think about it. So when we got out of One for the Braves, we linked up with Chris and we started doing the first EP, and we loved him. And he's been working with us ever since. And his studio is No Boundary Studio.
Okay. I'll have to look into that more. You know, it seems like a lot of the bands that we've talked to have recorded like in the Toronto area or the Orlando area. Yeah, like Sam Guarini, I think that's his last name.
I don't know how to say his last name, but I've definitely heard of him. I know he's done like, I feel like he did like Young Culture and stuff too, right? Recently or something.
Dude, he's done like everything, like Barons, like Pacific, you name it. Like all the pop punk in the Toronto area he's done.
No, we go to Newport because we're bougie.
Newport, we go to North Kingstown, Rhode Island.
It's close to Newport. It's the opposite of bougie, but it's close to Newport.
You can never be too far from Newport if you're in Rhode Island.
I don't know if I've ever actually been to Rhode Island. Maybe I've driven through it, but I can't say that I've spent a good amount of time there.
What's the name of it? It's not the Bay State. That's Massachusetts.
No.
The
Ocean
traffic state. I don't know.
It's the Ocean State.
The Ocean State?
The Ocean State, really?
I'm pretty sure it's the Ocean State.
It seems a little bold for a
we're going to
state that's three-quarters landlocked.
We're going to Google. Rhode Island, Nick.
Ocean State. Maybe that's where Ocean State Job Lot started.
All right, it's got a few nicknames. It's got Little Roadie. The Ocean State, and there's one more, the Plantation State.
Oh God, I'm sure they don't want to.
I don't think they like that one.
Yeah,
I'm sure they don't like that one.
I think that's why they picked the Ocean State. Like, we need to change that.
Well, isn't there like the Plantation Highway or something like that? I think it's. I don't know. I think we're spending too much time thinking about Rhode Island right now. What is this? A geography podcast?
Geography episode.
Listen, I just gave you all some great trivia answers. Yeah. You better use them, and if you win, I'll give you my Venmo.
Lil Rhodey.
That's my new rap name.
Yeah.
So I guess let's talk some more music and not Rhode Island. So you know you got these 3 singles that you put out fairly recently. With new music comes shows and hitting the road. So what plans do you guys have for the rest of 21 and maybe into 22?
So we are working on a run with our friends at Real Talk for sometime in October. We're trying to figure out 2 more dates on that, and then we'll announce it and everything. But one of those dates, I can say, is going to be at the Loft in Poughkeepsie, which is upstairs at the Chance, which I'm very excited for that. One's going to be us, Real Talk. That's a nice burp in the middle of that. Us, Real Talk, Goalkeeper, New Vision, and this really awesome band we met back in August called The Mile Run. And we're pretty excited for that. And then we're talking with a few other bands. Oh, man, this beer's getting to me. Then we're talking to a few other bands about. We have a couple more dates in October, which we're fleshing out with this band Mighty Tortuga, and then we're doing something. And we're working to put something together with another band from Connecticut in November, and figuring out maybe if we're gonna release an EP or not.
Dude, it's a fun ass time coming up. We're gonna have so much fun. yeah, we're super excited for October. I hope everything goes well. Everybody,
Don't shut us down.
get fucking vaccinated, right? Like that's the only way we're gonna get shows back. Like I don't even give a shit anymore. I'll just say it.
No,
Well,
yeah.
I feel like moshing in a mask would be a hazard because you might, not be able to breathe
Dude,
and pass out.
I've been to 3 shows recently in a mask. Like I'm fully vaccinated, and you had to show your card at this door and everything like that. But I'm like, I'm still gonna wear it. That's just, I don't know, me being a germaphobe. And like, dude, it's miserable being at a show. But I'm like, look, I'm happy, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I could not imagine moshing in a mask. That must be just like the worst.
Nope.
Well, good thing I'm old as hell, and those days are way
Yeah,
past
my
me
knees
anyway.
can't take that. Come on, man.
No, seriously, just like standing at a show makes me sore for
Oh.
3 days later.
I'm like,
The older I
yeah.
get, the more I understand sleepy eyes and bony knees.
Yeah.
Now, you guys did just have a small run with 20 something, right? How were those
Yeah.
shows?
Those guys are class acts. If any band in the Northeast is looking to play with another band and, wants to make it out to like Western New York, hit up those guys. They are the nicest dudes. And, it's tough to say. Like I feel like we've been super privileged with the bands we've done weekenders with before. And, these guys are right along that. So much fun. We're super hospitable. They had no trouble. We had with the first venue we booked in Rochester. They were like, we may not be ready for this show yet, and all that.
We were excited too. It was a bowling alley.
Bowling alley, yeah,
We're
but
pretty stoked.
they weren't ready. So immediate, like a day after, they ended up finding another show. Like they're very hardworking guys. They'll put in the work if you guys want to ever show swap with, if you're another
Definitely a cool
band.
scene up there too.
And they also just have great tunes. I've been listening to them like on repeat every day ever since. So that was fun. So we did Rochester, Oneonta, which is like mid-state. I know it's not as well known, but there is the college up there.
Oh, yeah.
And then we did a DIY sort of outdoor venue
New
at
Paltz.
New Paltz, New York, which
Fuck the police coming
Yeah,
straight from the
we,
underground.
the cops got called at, I think, like, I don't know, what would you say, 6 p.m. maybe?
It was like 6 p.m. on a Saturday. Like it was still sunny out. They're like, turn it down. I'm like, we're next to a college. You're gonna tell us to turn
Yeah.
it down?
Midway through 20-something set, and we were headlining that, so we were right after them. So the cop goes and he goes, if I get another call, like I'll have to come back and kind of shut it down. So like if you guys can be more quiet. What are we gonna do? Be more quiet? We have a live drum set. Like how the hell are we gonna do that? So they played their last song quietly, which was sort of funny to see because like those dudes aren't quiet. And
We
then,
said fuck it and went full ham.
handed over to us, and we said, all right, guys, we know the cops are going to get called on us. Like, that's just the reality here, no matter how quiet we play. So let's just play at full volume, see how many songs we can get to until, like, we'll give it 20 minutes, let the cops go back to the station, then play our songs at full volume, and then maybe give or take maybe like 15 minutes where we can play these songs. So we got through like 4 songs.
We
Last
marathon
one-
that set pretty quick.
Yeah, last one, funny enough, was Rear Window, and so we ended. The cops came, and we had about 30 seconds left of the song. We're like, what are they gonna do? Arrest us? So we finished the song.
So what was their deal? Like there's just like strict.
I guess
There
they
was, like,
have like a
old
neighbor.
neighbor.
Yeah, they have a neighbor
Ah.
who's like doesn't like them, and so they call the cops.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you think you would have thought about this before you put on a show outdoors, pointed directly at their house, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like, hey, but we made it work. Punk rock.
it was fun, man. I mean, we had like, it's cool. We never played an outdoor show like that, so we had like friends and family show up, and my little sister actually just started going to college there in New Paltz, so like she got to be the cool girl showing her friends to like a concert,
Nice.
So that was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, we went Rochester, Oneonta, and New Paltz, and with 20 something. There's no other band I would have done that with. They were awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure it feels good to kind of dust off the rust and get back
Oh,
out there,
God.
and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that felt great.
There's
It's-
definitely a moment that the moment we got on the stage in Rochester where we started, and like the first song kicked in, we started playing, and like, just to see people reacting, it was almost it was almost like it was definitely emotional. Let's just put it that way, because it's the first show we played since March 1st of 2020, and you don't realize how much you miss something like that until you're doing it again. And it's like really reaffirming to do it and then have the reaction that we were getting of people just like they didn't know who we were.
Yeah.
We were just a band from Poughkeepsie that came up and they heard our new single maybe or 20 something had told them about us, and they were into it and they were dancing, they were jumping, they were waving with me, and it was just really an awesome moment.
Yeah, and what was great was the 3 singles we released in 2021. Those have never been heard live before since it was January, I think, March, and then August. So yeah, it felt really good, and like some people knew the lyrics, which is like holy shit, like all right, cool, like people are listening to us despite us not being able to play regular shows. So it was a good feeling, man.
Yeah, well, when you have a single getting love from New Noise, that tends to happen, right?
That felt
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that did feel good.
Love that.
Shout out New York. Yeah, I love New Noise. I just gotta put in a good word for them, man. Yeah, they've been super supportive. I mean, I think like we've reached out both times, to have that organized, but like this time it was like very quick. They were like, "Yeah, definitely, we'll put you up."
They're awesome too because
Awesome.
there were some unfortunate issues with the release that we were going through. I'm not gonna say with who, and New Noise kind of pulled through, and like even after the song had been released and everything, and we're like, yeah, no, we'll help you out, we'll do something. And I was very grateful for that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with bands, that are DIY, you do rely on some of that press because that's kind of the name of the game these days. You got to try to get on those playlists, and it reaching out to how many playlists, reaching out to how many editorials, and because it's not even like I don't even know if AP still is like printed. Do you guys even know if AP?
I think they might be.
Yeah,
is it still printed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like the other thing too is like my mom was a publicist, so she does like work with like doctors and everything. And one of the things she always said is like you can only yell so loud until people, and then like people will still not hear you, but you can only yell so loud. So like sometimes you need that help. You need these outlets. You need like the New Noises, the APs. You need them to like, kind of take an interest in like these smaller bands because that's how they're gonna grow. Like you want to get on their radar.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've become friends with a lot of bands who are in similar situations, and they grind harder than some of these bands that have already made it. And it's just, you said, it's
because they just buy, they pay for a publicist, or their manager works with a publicist, and like that's it. But for us it's like, well, we don't make that kind of return yet on music. So I think it's also, and I've said this before, I think it's also super important to learn how to do it yourself, because I know a lot of musicians who, might come in, like maybe you're, let's say mid-20s, you got like a stable job, so you can probably afford moving some money towards that to promote your band or, whatever musical project you have. But if you don't learn how to do it yourself, you're not going to learn how you sort of want to be framed in that, and you're going to rely on somebody else to interpret your image for you. When maybe you can, if you can work on that and find out like what works best, what resonates with people the most on your own, then you can work with somebody who can help deliver that message a little bit farther than you might be able to with your limited bandwidth.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So I guess we can come back to a little more music in a moment. I'm just so curious, and I just want to jump the gun on how two guys from the Hudson Valley, like the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Buffalo Sabres, like, that area is typically like Rangers country.
Yeah.
Or maybe Devils. Definitely not Islanders. Like, definitely not the Islanders.
It's safe to say it's like 99% Rangers.
Yeah, so
all my Rangers friends yell at me.
At the same time, because I lived in Albany for 4 years.
Okay.
When I was in Albany, obviously MSG is the network that carries the Rangers, the Sabres, the Islanders, and the Devils. So there were a good amount of times where, even though I'm in New York State, I want to watch the New York Islanders. I couldn't, because there'd be a New Jersey Devils game on, and it's like, I'm not even in New Jersey. Why am I not able to watch the New York Islanders and getting it blacked out for a New Jersey team? And it was also one of those things where I was technically still in the Islanders market. So even if I wanted to buy the hockey package,
You're blacked out.
I'm
from
blacked
it.
out.
Yep. Yep.
So you guys probably have to deal with that all the time. And definitely you, Aaron, trying to watch Sabres games, trying to even get them.
Yeah, I'd say, fuck the government and illegally stream it.
Hopefully ESPN, since ESPN got the package, will make it easier.
That is true.
But I have considered looking at like those NHL packages. I mean, I do have, or at least where I'm at right now with my parents, where I've been this past year since the pandemic hit. I've actually been able to watch MSG because they have it, and they have MSG. I guess it's with the whatever package, it's MSG regular and then MSG B. So sometimes there's a chance that the Sabres are going to be on, but it's not always. You got to remember too. It's like, and I forget about this all the time, but during hockey season, sometimes there's football or other things that they're covering on MSG. So like that just sort of like minimizes the pool of what you're able to watch. And of course, nobody wants to watch the Sabres, especially up here. So, like, why the hell would they stream it, or why the hell would they broadcast it? So yeah, it's been like a weird struggle. But then I'm like, wait, if I try to go get the package, will I be blacked out? And that's a weird thing because there's a chance I might not be. Because, for example, my dad's kind of, I mean, we're Patriots fans, which is weird too. But
not as weird as me.
My dad's like he's also kind of like a part-time Bills fan. So he wants to watch them, but we never get the games because that's all Western New York. It's like treated as its like own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, like what do I do? Do I try it? Will they give me my money back if it doesn't work? Like
probably not.
So I just illegally stream it.
I do. Man, now I got to talk about football. Now I got to tell you too. So I'm also a diehard Green Bay Packers fan. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, but that's another story for another time. We're talking
Good
hockey.
Lord Almighty.
So, how I got into the Lightning was when I was like first getting into hockey. I didn't really pay attention to any teams, and my friend had this Tampa Bay Lightning hat, which I still have. I was trying to see if it was hanging near me, but it's not. I had to find it, but I stole it from him. So when I started watching, the Rangers were not looking good. So they were kind of boring. I was like, all right. So I had that hat. So I started watching the Lightning, and they were fucking amazing. And I was like, this team's awesome. They're so fun to watch. They were doing good. And I was like, all right, I got like super into it. And that's how I became a Lightning fan. How I typically get the games, I have the app on my phone, and I will most of the time I just listen to them. So you can listen to like the radio broadcast, so I'll listen to them, and then I can usually through like the MSNBC apps or whatever when they were doing it. If the Rangers weren't playing, they would typically put up whatever game is the most enticing, and because the Lightning are typically doing so good, they're one of the games that will get picked up for like the stream, so I can pick them up through there. And other than that, I do it mostly, like Aaron said, illegally.
It's so funny though that Radham's in a better situation to watch a Lightning game than you are to watch a Sabres game, a team that plays in the same state that you live.
Yeah,
and they're like
New York likes to forget Buffalo exists. I feel like especially when it comes to sports, like what's that, Buffalo? Nah, they're not here.
Buffalo, I feel like they're just missing out on a massive chunk of revenue because like people aren't able to like subscribe to their service.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I went to school in Central New York at SUNY Cortland.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
And I was there from 2005 to 2009 when the Sabres were like winning the President's Trophy and like killing it.
That was a weird time, man. That was what I first started. Well, I like got into them, I think my 8th grade. So like 2008 or 2007, probably actually 7th grade. And I was like, okay, like they're actually doing decent. I was like, I heard bad things about these guys, but like they're all right now. They were actually like, almost playoff worthy. And then since I've been watching them, they have not been playoff worthy.
Aaron's their curse.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on... There's probably another person we could blame for that, but... Yeah, like, so did you get a chance to see the games up there? Was it like broadcast?
It was. So in Cortland, I guess is considered like the Buffalo market.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we would get all Sabres games. And all my friends who now don't all of a sudden follow hockey were like the biggest obnoxious Sabres fans. And
Yeah.
it just so happened to be that my junior year, the Islanders and the Sabres played each other in the first round of the playoffs. And man, that was so brutal with all these front runner Sabres fans. And God,
You're like you.
I know
weren't
that
even there.
feeling.
yeah.
I know like the Islanders, man. Whenever with 2 years now, it's come down to the Lightning and the Islanders,
Yep.
and all of my Islanders friends are like, "We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you." I'm like, "No, you're not. You're not gonna do it. You're gonna do the same thing you did last year. You're gonna get it to like Game 6, Game 7, and you're gonna choke." And they did it twice.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that, Radam. So way to bring that back.
Are you
up.
an Islanders fan? Am I a dick?
I'm a diehard Islander fan.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
to go out. First of all, 2 years in a row to you guys, but the last one to go out on a shorthanded goal, like that's what determined the series. Just kills me.
If it makes you feel better, he's not even on our team anymore. We traded him to he got picked up by the Kraken. So,
well, I guess let's talk about that because now you guys, obviously are in that like elite caliber conversation of teams that have won consecutive Stanley Cups, and obviously trying to go for that third Stanley Cup. It would put you next level. Like you're talking like the Oilers and the Islanders kind of, and obviously, those like Canadians teams and teams from like the 40s when there was only when there was only like 6 teams.
That was a lot easier. I could have done that back then.
Yeah. I think definitely like, we traded away a good portion of our fourth line for sure, which I think you and I were talking about this like before the podcast and everything, that fourth lines are like will win championships, and I think we proved that now 2 years in a row. Like our fourth line like really has like stepped up in the playoffs, and we traded away a good like portion of that. Like we lost Goodrow went to the Rangers, and then Yanni Gord got picked up by the Kraken, and I think Tyler Johnson's on the Blackhawks now. But like we did pick up some decent talent. Like we got Corey Perry. So I find that hilarious because we beat him twice now in the Stanley Cup Finals, and now he's with us. So I think that's great, and I think we still have some good talent. I think we can definitely do it again. We just need to watch, obviously, the cap. Like we're paying pretty high right now.
I don't want to talk about that either.
Yeah,
like, all of a sudden, playoffs start. Everyone's healthy. Yeah, let's get everyone back that was out. Kucherov,
it's probably a good thing I didn't wear my Kucherov jersey tonight, huh?
Yeah, that's playing the system. But
in the words of Kucherov, number one bullshit.
But it's so funny because we're talking Kucherov and we're talking all of these like fourth line players that were really what put you guys over the edge against the Islanders. But Steven Stamkos was like a ghost, man. Like I really don't know what it is when it comes to the playoffs with him. He just
was he injured?
No, he was and I wasn't.
Oh,
he played all the playoffs. I think Stamkos' problem, once you start hitting him and getting in his head, game over. Like you got him. When he's like, when he gets out, like he needs to get out, get like that early goal, get it going like his way. And then you'll get the Stamkos everybody loves. But like if you get in Stamkos' head, it's game over for Stamkos.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Because imagine having him going, full force and putting up numbers that you're used to. No one be able to touch the Tampa Bay Lightning in a playoff.
Well, if you watch like the Canadians when we were playing the Canadians, like that, a good few of the games, like they were just beating the piss out of us into the boards. Like they were getting us up into the boards. And it's like we couldn't take the hits. Stamkos, especially, like he was just like, no, I'm not doing this. Like they shut Cooch down. Braden Point was like spent more time sliding on the ice than actually skating on it. Like they knew how to get us. Like you hit us hard, it's a good way to get to us.
Yeah. So Aaron, do you want to even talk about what's going on in Buffalo right now? Or you got post-traumatic stress from this past off season?
I just got stressed, bro. Man, Eichel's fucking changing agents, and yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, look, I don't blame the guy for leaving if he wants to, once his contract's up. Like,
but I feel like there's no real excuse for him wanting out. Like the Sabres did bring in talent. It just didn't pan out. Like they
Yeah.
brought in Kyle Poso. He had injuries. And then they brought in Jeff Skinner, who had like one of his best years, and then did absolutely nothing when he came to Buffalo. And then, Sam Reinhart's amazing. And then you guys traded him away this offseason. So like there were a core group of guys that could have gotten it done. It didn't play out the way that the Sabres wanted it to.
And that's a good point too, is like I feel like we haven't really had our core four in a way. Because we had, like back when I first started watching, we had guys like Thomas Vanek who were like carrying things. Shit.
Pominville.
Blake Pominville, yes, Pominville. Traded him away. Those guys were like stuff of legend for Buffalo, and like their names are forever, written down, I guess, in the scrolls of Buffalo history. But yeah, and Ryan Miller, guys like that, we just haven't had any sort of whether it be just good with the guys not meshing at all, but like it doesn't seem like there's no real standout stars besides like you could talk about your Eichels, Reinhardts, and Skinners, but like it just hasn't worked together. So I'm interested to see like what happens. What was funny was we did have one like okay year, I think it was, or at least how the Sabres season goes. You get about half this way through the season, everything's looking a little bit optimistic, and then the bottom falls out. But
it's like the Mets.
Yeah. Oh God, no. I mean, hopefully it's not that bad. But yeah, that's the biggest like promise to breaking the promise, I feel like, with them. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, I actually talked to Jordan from Every Time I Die because he's, they're a Buffalo band, so of course they're big Buffalo Sabres fans. So I talked to him one time at a concert in New York City because I had my Sabres jersey on, and I was like, what do you think? Like, expert opinion, what do you think of the season? He's like, I think they're gonna have, they're gonna win, some X%, amount more games or something, and he was pretty damn close. Like, it was good, and this was when kind of all of those guys that we had gotten years before had taken time and developed a little bit. So we had our Rasmus Dahlin started picking up, and Tyler Myers started picking up a little bit. We ended up trading him away, but it was like all kind of happy and good for a little bit, and then I think we're gonna see that sort of ebb and flow for a little bit more, but I'm interested to see what the season's going to be like because I think it's going to be very different from last year. Whether that be good or bad, I just don't know.
Have you had an opportunity to catch a game in Buffalo?
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing like it. It's so
even when
much
they're
fun.
bad, it's still an awesome atmosphere, which is crazy.
I've been lucky enough to go and see them. I think maybe 2 out of the 4 times that I've been there. I mean, I've seen them in other places too, but yeah, I've been to like. I think, the Harbor Center. It's changed a few times since I've gone.
It was like Key Bank at one point.
Key
like
Bank, yeah.
Key Bank
I was
Arena.
there when it was the Key Bank era. And so I haven't been there back in a while, honestly. But yeah, oh man, there was nothing like it. And that was during when like Pominville, Vanek were all in town. And people lose their minds when they score a goal because it's not very often. So I got a chance to see them. I think one of my favorite games that I went to was Sabres and Wild, and that was a really good fucking game. Yeah, I would recommend, even if you're not a hockey fan, to go to a Buffalo game because it's not that expensive, and go see a game. It's awesome, and usually the stands are pretty full.
I went to a Bruins Rangers game, and that was one of like, you ever want to see a stadium like going nuts, go to a Bruins Rangers game in Boston. Holy shit. Like, that's like, even if you don't like hockey, like that stadium will keep you going.
Yeah, I haven't caught a game in Boston yet. That's on my bucket list, but now being in North Carolina, it's not so easy to get to Boston. Now I'm checking off like the Florida games, and
my brother is like diehard like Celtics, Bruins, Patriots. And so for Christmas I bought him tickets to a Bruins Rangers game.
Nice.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about that because in Poughkeepsie you do also have like and like same for Albany, you also have people that are Boston fans.
It's like surprising though
yeah.
too, because like I feel like for Albany too, like I feel like more people would be Lightning fans in Albany because you had the Syracuse Crunch, which is their farm team, which is like right there. So like, I feel like there'd be more New York Lightning fans because of something like that. But
that's recent though, and Syracuse has changed affiliates so many times.
The Crunch. I've seen the Syracuse Crunch in Rochester Amherst game. Those are fun too.
Dude, there was this new Netflix documentary about the Danbury Thrashers or Trashers or whatever.
That's not far from here either. My girlfriend lives like right there.
Yeah, and John Morasti, who was like one of the bruisers
Nasty
Morasti. Yeah, he was on that team, like the Danbury team that they're talking about in that documentary. So, yeah.
Well, we were talking about
fun city.
We were talking about Yanni Gord. Like, he got onto the Lightning through the Crunch. Like, he was playing for the Crunch for a long time before he went to the Lightning.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson too. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the Syracuse Crunch won the championship, or at least were in the championship with all those guys. And then, the next year, all of them are playing on the Lightning.
Yeah. So and now they're Stanley Cup champs.
Yeah. Touche. So I guess let's just make some quick predictions. Where do we think the Sabres are going, Aaron, this year? Do you think it's an improvement, or you think that it's a bust?
Dude, you know what? I think they've cycled around a lot of people this year. I was actually, because I was genuinely curious. I'm not a big off-season guy. For any sport that I follow, I don't really like check up on it. I think maybe the NFL's like the most accessible for that.
Don't even get me started on the NFL offseason. Packers gave me a damn near fucking heart attack.
But yeah, like I'm not a big off-season guy, so I was like, let me check the roster today, and I was like, there's some new faces on here, and I know we changed around goalies and all that, which is important part of the game. So, I have a good feeling. I'm going with the optimistic end of this, and I think we're gonna do better this year. I don't see playoffs for sure because I don't want to get my hopes up like that, but I am feeling a lot better because, I feel like earlier last season they were on a tear. They were doing pretty well, I think, and then again, just like they hit a slide for a very, very long time. So I'm feeling good.
Okay. And what about you, Radam? You think you guys got a three-peat in the works?
I definitely think we do. I think our
no, please, God, no.
Yeah.
No
one other than Lightning fans want that. But
no.
I mean, I think we definitely do. I think we have pretty much most of our talent. I think Cooper is an amazing coach. I think he definitely knows how to bring out the best in people.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you because they just had Cooper on Spit and Chicklets, and his story of how he became an NHL coach is ridiculous. Like, he was like a lawyer and then just like was coaching basically like peewee hockey and rose the ranks from there.
Yeah, I think that's why he's such a good coach, because he's got like, I'm here, I know what I'm gonna do. Like, he's
not really a hockey guy. He played lacrosse in college.
Yeah, so I think it's working for us though, clearly. So I'm with it, Cooper all the way. But I think we definitely have a good shot at the 3P. I think that really the only two teams I can really see coming at us again are going to be, as always, the Islanders, and I think the Panthers definitely could come get us because that series was insane too. So it depends, but I think if we get the Islanders again, we can make it through. And I think, like, even with the talent we lost in our fourth line, I think we got some good names in the draft. I think we got some good names in free agency. Like, I definitely like the Corey Perry signing. I think he's older, but I definitely think he's got some good games left in him. So I think we definitely go for that 3P.
All right, I love these predictions that at the end of the day mean nothing.
Totally outlandish.
Right now, I'm on the Packers winning that Super Bowl before we lose Rodgers.
Yeah, there's no empirical data backing this. We are just saying whatever the hell we want.
Saying whatever we want.
I said on the board of DraftKings, I know everything. I'm lying. Don't listen to me. Insider trading.
DraftKings promo code THPN.
Oh, taking my job, dude. we forget to do that all the time.
Put another $1 in Mike's pocket.
Yeah. We're trying to do something special next summer down in Orlando. Wink, wink. So
yeah.
We've been trying to get Rolling Rock to sponsor our podcast forever, but they don't respond to my messages.
Yeah.
It's tougher than you think. It's a weird network. I've emailed them. Yeah. We should go for like a more realistic one, I think.
All right, Bud Light.
Oh God, yeah, they'll sponsor anything.
Buddy, yeah,
Red
cool.
Bull. We could do Red Bull probably.
Dude, I wish we did Red Bull. Like, meet
Yeah.
some of my favorite skiers.
Be like, yeah, we do extreme sports, I guess.
That's why I have a bad hip is extreme sports, all right? They owe me money.
All right. Well, guys, I really do appreciate you coming on, and I'm going to try to play Rear Window on our way out. So is there anything you want to tell our listeners about the video, about the song before we wrap this up?
Definitely check out the actual movie where the namesake comes from, because I think it's a great movie as someone who loves old movies.
I didn't even know that was a movie. So
yeah,
you need
it's
to fill me in on that.
Oh, this is great. So it gets to go where I want it to go. Yay. So Rear Window is an Alfred Hitchcock movie that stars James Stewart and Grace Kelly. And when during the pandemic, I watched it for the first time. Loved it. Loved the message I was kind of sending of don't let life pass you by. And also your neighbor might be a murderer, which is what the video kind of is. So I decided to kind of write a song from the point of view of Grace Kelly looking in at James Stewart of your life's passing by. You're so focused on everybody else that you're letting yours go. So when you listen to Rear Window, I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that you understand the message of it's your life. It's your time. Don't let it pass you by.
And real quick, I think this is special because this is the first podcast we've announced this on. Or I think first way in which we've announced it is there is a man. This is gonna sound weird, so get ready, Mikey. There is a man in the music video wearing jorts and a crop top and a swim cap, and
frame
and sunglasses, but you can barely see him.
You can't even see it.
You have to try to find him. He's
been
in the
there
music
the
video.
entire time.
We just fit one frame of our friend Travis in there, and it's the funniest thing to me. So, everybody listening, do your best to find it and let us know if you do.
If you do find it, send us a snapshot of it, of you finding it, and we will send us your info and we'll send you some free swag.
Yeah, first person to do it, we'll send you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Dude, this is like Where's Waldo 2021.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Love that.
Find Travis. # find Travis.
The answer's in the podcast too. I made sure of it.
Or it also could just be a really awesome marketing scheme by you guys to just get plays going because people are just going to rewatch the video trying to find this guy.
Mikey,
and he doesn't exist.
Dude, I wish we were that smart.
Like I said, the answer's in the podcast.
All right. Well, dudes, I really do appreciate it. Definitely go check out What Makes Sense. We're going to add them to our playlist. We're super excited to play Rear Window. I keep wanting to say rear view window. I don't know why I want to keep saying that.
That's what our the guy who produced the music or who produced the video called it when he sent it to us, and we're like, let's just make sure the title on it's like right. And he's like, oh no, it's in there. Yeah, I just messed it up.
So yep, definitely we'll get you guys on our playlist. Best of luck hitting the road and the rest of 21, 22. Hopefully we got an EP. Or maybe no EP, who knows?
I don't know.
We shall see. But yeah, it was great talking some music and hockey with you guys, and we'll keep in touch. And all the best, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mikey. Really
thank you so much for having us.
All right, and now here's What Makes Sense. Rear Window. Hope you guys enjoy.
# find Travis.
Find Travis.
2021. Find Travis.
Can you tell me, do you sleep at night? It doesn't look like it or things alright. This void your life is wearing in, I see. You're looking out at everybody moving on without you. Will